What is up, Flash fans? My name is BobaTalks and welcome to a Season 4 kind of Season 5 video. Now this is kind of surrounding the new information that everyone is talking about at the minute, well, surrounding Season 5's villain and how he's probably, well, how he's most likely not going to be a speedster, unless with their adaptation to the show they kind of give him some kind of ability to steal speed or something like that, but God knows if they're going to implement anything like that. But mainly, let's just assume in this video that the Season 5 villain is not a speedster, but I want to tell you guys why that's okay, and why I think it's okay, but why everyone is reacting like that is such a bad thing, because I'm seeing it everywhere. People are just like, oh god, not again. People are like underwhelmed for Clifford DeVoe, and I just want to say as to why Season 4 wasn't successful in doing a non-speedster villain, despite DeVoe being really, really good. I honestly don't think the problem is with a non-speedster villain. I get how people like speedster villains, but, you know, we've got people who are complaining about, oh, if we have another speedster villain, and I admit, like, the Flash would get kind of boring if it was a speedster villain after speedster villain after speedster villain, and then we got DeVoe, and now people are just wanting speedster villains again. And honestly, as I just said, I think that's because Season 4 wasn't executed well with a non-speedster villain, and maybe that's because they hadn't done a non-speedster villain before, but also it's because of the tone, and I want to get into that as well. But before I get into more videos, everybody, if you want to watch more Flash videos, see more Flash videos, why not subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to be covering the Flash, as I do cover it anyway, but I'm going to be doing more videos, I tell you. So hit that subscribe button with notifications on, and also like this video if you go ahead and enjoy it, as I really appreciate any support that I get. Now, I believe all of this information stemmed from Pagey, the good old Pagemeister. Obviously, you guys probably know who he is. I do a 4-channel crossover live stream with Pagey at least once a month with DJ Eric, or Eric's Reloaded, and the DC TV show. So, you know, we're all kind of in the loop with each other, and he made a cool video surrounding Season 5's villain and how it probably is quite pretty accurate how it is. Cicada, and we'll get into that in a second. Now, the main focus of this video isn't necessarily to talk about Cicada. I'll obviously give you guys the cliff notes, because some of you actually may be new to finding out about this non-speedster villain for Season 5 in this video, and if you are, fair enough, but I want to do a separate video on him sometime, going into a lot more depth. But really, as the title states in this video, which I don't really know exactly what it is yet, I want to reassure people as to why, in my mind, if the Flash do it properly, a non-speedster villain could work amazing, just as good as the speedster potentially for this show. Now, supposedly one of the final shots or one of the final lines in the finale of Season 4 says that he has a lightning bolt dagger, good or bad. And apparently one of the EPs has said that if you're familiar with the comic books, you'll probably be able to figure out the villain, and I'm paraphrasing there. But yes, I mean, that kind of makes sense if these are the words, lightning bolt dagger in the finale, good or bad. And if you're kind of familiar with the comics, you might be able to put 2 and 2 together and figure out that it could be Cicada. Now, briefly, who is Cicada? He was introduced by Jeff Johns, created by Jeff Johns in the Wally West era of the Flash. Very briefly, he abused his wife, even murdered her. He was also struck by lightning, which kind of, drew parallels to him of the Flash, since we all know Wally West was also struck by lightning, just like Barry Allen. Now, with this lightning bolt kind of came a vision where it was foretold that his wife would be resurrected. It showed him his immortality, and one of his powers as well is to actually absorb the life force of anyone. Like, so if he kills them, it absorbs around 100 years of their life onto him, which basically makes this guy immortal. So as a result of this, and this twisted guy thinking he's linked to the Flash and murdering his wife, he wanted to resurrect his wife, but this resulted in the Cicada cult. I just said cicada, but cicada, cicada. So this cult was also just simply known as the Cicada cult, and it was basically, its mission was to murder every single one of the people the Flash saved with lightning bolt daggers. Now, it's almost too much of a coincidence. I'm not going to talk too much more than what I already have said, that the lightning bolt daggers, being used potentially in the Flash's final scene, which is probably quite concrete news as well. You would have to think Cicada, right? So the reason why he wanted to kill all of these people who were linked to the Flash, and because he thought he was linked to the Flash anyway through this lightning bolt, is because so he could get this all of this energy and resurrect his wife, which he was successful in doing. But anyway, I don't know if this story will translate over to the Flash. Plus, if you look at this guy as well, he's quite old, and I think, as we all know, copy and pasting to TV is good in some ways, but also very boring in others. You don't always want the exact same thing, and quite often with villains, they change things up. Think about Zoom with the Jay Garrick storyline, or, you know, even the Thinker is slightly different, and things like that. So I don't think this guy is going to be a crusty kind of old man looking person coming to the Flash. There could be a billion different ways they implement his story over. But anyway, that's enough about Cicada. The thing I want to concentrate on here is he's not a speedster villain. He's not a speedster villain. And what does that mean, guys? Are you going to flip out, or are you going to be kind of happy, or are you a comprehensive, kind of like I am, but hopeful? I personally remember when everyone found out that Clifford DeVoe, ever since, you know, Abracadabra teased him, you know, and I remember making that video about, oh, is DeVoe going to be the next season's villain? And everyone was commenting saying, oh, I don't think he could hold up a whole season, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm actually seeing people say with Cicada, oh, I don't think he could hold up a whole season. That being said, there's a billion ideas you could put out there saying he might be one of a couple of villains. Who knows? He might be the overarching villain, or arcing, whatever you say. But there might be like a similar Julian Albert situation going on as well. I've said before in the past couple of weeks, I think it'd be cool if they actually do bring a speedster back alongside Cicada. Like, I don't know, the Reverse Flash somehow, but at the same time, I kind of take that back because the Reverse Flash is too badass to be used just as like an alchemy kind of role. So maybe Cicada really is just what you guys, or some of you guys are worrying about, the actual main villain of season 5, and he will be there as prominently as we've had Zoom, the Reverse Flash, Savitar, and now the Thinker. Now, why people are freaking out is because, quite simply, season 4 isn't a great season of the Flash. I don't really mind what you say. This is my opinion, so I'm not angry if you love the Flash season 4. That being said, I love this show. I love it with such a passion. However, this tone of this season has just been too off. And I think, however, the Thinker has been a brilliant role in this show. I think what has brought him down is everything else that is wrong with season 4. Now, you may disagree with that, but could you imagine the Thinker in a much more serious season tone? Not maybe necessarily season 3, because for some people that was a bit annoying. That, as some people argue, Barry was too mopey and stuff like that. So maybe lift it up a little bit, but season 2, season 1 with a mixture of season 3, and then put the Thinker in that. Think how much cooler that would have been over couples therapy, over the stupid jokes, over dumbing Barry down, over We Are the Flash, all that kind of stuff. Take that aside, take away the silly scores, take over Barry slipping over freaking pebbles on the road, take away that stuff, introduce a bit of a more, you know, weight of the world on the Flash's shoulders kind of thing. Him at the helm of Team Flash. Nothing against Iris there, to all you West Allen lovers. That, I think, would have made people love the Thinker so much more. So maybe, the reason why it is a good thing that we're still having a non-speedster is because next season, sorry, the season afterwards, season 6, we're going to be perfectly ready for a speedster villain. So ready for it. And imagine if we're so ready for it on top of season 5 being so cool. Now, I would like to think and really hope that the stars have delivered our thoughts to the freaking executive producers, the showrunners, in how season 4 really hasn't been that great. They wanted to lighten up the tone, kind of bring it back to season 1, but honestly, you know, when you're aiming for something and you just completely go over and beyond it, that is what they did with season 4, and how they were kind of hyping, bringing the silliness and the fun back to the Flash. Yes, I get it. Season 1 wasn't like that, though. It was kind of fun, but it was also serious. It was sincere. Like, there was stakes, and I know there's stakes in season 4, but honestly, a lot of the silliness takes away from it, as I've already mentioned. So let's wind back a couple of seconds to what I was just saying, and how imagine if the showrunners do actually kind of agree and maybe think that this season has been a bit too eccentric, and that is the word I love to use for this season. But let's seriously pretend for a minute, if you're really on the edge of really not wanting another speedster villain, imagine they did bring it back to season 2, season 1, even season 3 vibes. It would be brilliant. I think people's faith would be restored in how a non-speedster villain can hold this show. And, you know, you don't have to be a speedster. You don't even have to be a mystery kind of thing, but I'll get to that in a second, to make it so interesting. Now, some people like the DC TV show, and I just watched his video before this, he said that, you know, he loves, like, one of the reasons why the Mystery Girl is so popular is because, wait, behold, she's a mystery, and that's so true. It is true. That is a fascinating element of the Flash. The other being a speedster, I don't necessarily agree with that. I definitely think a speedster villain is so badass. It's completely, you know, it's like the pepperoni pizza for me. If you give me a pepperoni pizza, I will always be happy. But at the same time, if you have it too many times, you know, you become desensitized to it almost. You think, like, okay, that was a cool season, but the Flash is just almost getting the same every season now. So my point is, if Cicada is going to be a villain, it can be brought back to badassery with a brilliantly toned season, how it's supposed to be, bring Barry back to his smart, intelligent self, make him the leader, make Iris a badass reporter, keep Harry and Cisco being, and Caitlin helping out like they did in season 1, season 2. I do agree though, they can make it even more enticing with adding the mystery element. I do think I don't want to bank on that too much, because as much as that makes things interesting, like Prometheus on Arrow, or, you know, as Zoom, and just things like that, Reverse Flash in season 1, things like that, Julian Albert, it's all very fascinating when it's a mystery. That's why the mystery girl is so popular, and that's something I definitely agree with what Ben said. So they could make Cicada, as I said earlier, mix his story up. It won't be copy and pasted. It might be a mystery. Who is this person with the lightning bolt daggers going around Central City, killing people that the Flash has saved? That would be really cool. Instead of just knowing who he is like DeVoe, I don't mind either way. I do guess that the mystery would add a lot more interest for the fans, that like it would make a lot more buzz on the internet about who is this person. There's a lot of videos that can come out with us YouTubers talking about it, rather than, oh hey, Cicada, what's up dude? But mainly guys, I think the Flash season 4's biggest downfall was its tone, not the thinker at all. I think the thinker was an excellent character. I think the role and the character that was played was brilliant. The acting was fantastic. I just think it wasn't in the right season. They were new to not doing a Speedster villain, and I think they had the pressure of with season 3's kind of screw ups with being, you know, many different complaints. They not only tried something brand new they've never done before, they overshot with the tone and stuff like that, to the point where it resulted in season 4. That being said, guys, if you're new to this channel, I do love some episodes, like episode 7, 15, 18, 19, 20 even. So that's 5 episodes where I felt like they actually brought the tone back, but everything else has been a bit silly. But as I said, season 5 can be really, really good if they just go what they did before with season 1, season 2, and, you know, it's optional, tick the box if you want to add a mystery to Cicada or not. Apart from that, I feel like problem solved, right? Problem solved, with also the minor bits as well. Make Iris a reporter, that makes so many people happy. Make Barry freaking smart again and not like so indecisive and I don't know what to do, please help me. Anyway guys, I feel like season 5 could be the season 4 that we wanted with a non-Speedster villain, or at least reassure people. But as I said, they could completely miss the target now and completely screw up again. And I think, Jesus, if they do a season 4 kind of vibe with season 5 with Cicada, I don't know what I'll do then. I really don't know what I'll do, because I'll struggle a lot to be into it. I really hope they take this into note with the tone. They need to. But that is everything I want to say in this video. Let me know what you think of everything I had to say, and are you excited now for a potential non-Speedster villain again? Were you not excited before, but after watching this video, have I kind of convinced you how it could be good, providing they do the right thing? Or are you like, F this, a Speedster villain, I'm out if they don't do it? Let me know your thoughts regardless. I totally forgot to mention as well in how the mystery girl could also be linked to revealing Cicada, or something to do with the season 5 villain. She's obviously from the future and can talk about all of this and warn Team Flash or anything like that. I believe one of the EPs as well has teased that she's got links to season 5. It's just a lot of the exciting stuff that even Grant Gustin had for the mystery girl is happening in season 5. So you'd have to think she has some kind of link to this Cicada or the lightning bolt daggers. We'll have to wait and see. But other than that, everybody, if you want to follow me on social media, links are in the description. I want to thank all my patrons. If you're curious, link to my Patreon page is at the top of my description. And other than that, guys, like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more Flash. I think I've already said that, but I don't know. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.